She's live. Welcome to Pub Talk TV. Tonight we are talking about BEA, or as you may know it, Book Expo America, which is a giant conference where everybody flies to New York for a week of absolute craziness.
Last year I wore a TARDIS dress, which I'm wearing again for you all tonight.
Ooh. And I got to see her in this TARDIS dress at a speakeasy with a bathtub.
Big job.
BEA is crazy, you guys.
And tonight we'll tell you all about it.
We've also got our senior token male correspondent, Ted Fox, hosting the Twitter party on the hashtags of PubTalkTV and AskPubTalkTV.
And Ted, I hear that your twin brother is going to be joining us later doing a remote segment. Is that right?
Yes, he is en route from Indiana to New York City to get to Jessica's slush pile, so he's on his way.
So he's going to come live from the slush pile. And what's your twin brother's name again?
Bedlocks.
Oh.
My parents loved me more. I was born first, so he got the worst name.
Yeah.
That sounds like a genuine person and not at all like a made-up entity, Ted.
He's a good time, though.
Super real. I bet you guys are really identical.
We are. It's kind of striking how much we look alike.
I'm really looking forward to meeting Bedlocks.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with a quick round of introductions, and let's talk about what we are drinking. I am Kelsey Mackey, and I'm the author of Damsel Distressed, and like most days of my life, I have a Slurpee in my hand. Today's flavor is lemonade, and I've topped it off with just a little bit of Moody June gin. What about you, Summer?
Hi, my name is Summer Heacock, or Fizzy Girl on Twitter. I'm drinking water because I'm very, very lame. I'm a writer who writes books about vaginas, and I'm not wearing any pants.
Yay! Jessica and Rosie, are you drinking anything tonight?
We are, in fact, we are drinking the BEA cocktail. Shout out to Lizzie Poteet, who gave me the idea to use the Absolute vodka, little tiny Absolute vodka.
Brought to you by Absolute. Absolute, if you would like to sponsor Pub Talk TV, give me a call.
Yeah, we'll put up our cell phone number later.
Absolutely.
So the B is blackberry, the E is elderflower liqueur, and the A, as we mentioned, Absolute vodka. There's also a little bit of soda in there, so we don't die.
I am loving the theme commitment. That's beautiful.
That sounds really good.
All the way.
Oh, add elderflower to anything. It's a great idea.
Basically.
Yeah.
I don't think I know what elderflower tastes like.
Yeah, that's not what I heard you
Like
say.
old
I will send you a bottle. That's how good it is. You have to have it.
Sounds
It looks like
magical.
perfume. It tastes better than perfume.
Yes. Just don't put perfume in your BA cocktail.
I was just telling
Don't
Sarah
do
Jane
it.
that I had tried perfume as a kid because it smells good, so you think it's a terrible idea. Anyway, it tastes a lot better than perfume. That's my endorsement.
Just for the record, when you said I'll add elderflower to anything, my sound glitched, and it really sounded like you said I'll deflower anything.
No. Oh my
No.
gosh. My grandkids and grandparents are totally listening to you say that right now.
Because the internet lives forever.
It does live forever.
It really does. That's why you should never have any questionable photographs on your computer. Ever.
Ever.
Anyone. No one in particular.
I'm having
Not anybody I know. Just saying. In general. So let's transition, shall we?
Yes.
We're going to talk about BEA
what is Ted
all
drinking?
night, and I think
Yeah,
we'll
Ted,
start
what's
things
Ted
off.
drinking?
Not drinking.
You're drinking, Ted?
It's boring tonight. Coffee. You know, I'm up early with
Whatever.
the baby. Had the baby all day, so gotta drink the coffee to keep going. So.
Brought to
Boring.
you by Starbucks. Starbucks, if you're interested in sponsoring us,
Yes.
please give me a call.
I spend enough money there that I feel like I may get something back now.
If we can get sponsored by Slurpee, Absolute, or Starbucks, I would call that a win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm wearing a friggin'
Absolutely.
TARDIS. Can we get the BBC up in there somewhere? Send David Tennant to my house. This is fine.
Just send all the hot Doctor Who's to Summer's house.
John Barrowman
As
wouldn't kick him out of bed for eating crackers. By the way, in case it wasn't apparent or coming across well, this will be a PG-13 event. If I can control myself.
That is true. There's always the occasional whoops-a-daisy. So, but that it wouldn't be Pub Talk TV if there wasn't a whoopsie-daisy. That's what I always say.
90% of those are mine.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Let's go ahead and start talking about BEA. Now, I've been to BEA twice. Who's been the most times? Ted, have you been?
4 or 5.
Big 0 for me.
Lucky
you guys are doing the queen ring. I love that.
So what's the best event you ever went to that was during BEA week?
The crickets were overwhelming.
Come on!
BEA is sort of a very strange week because everyone is so excited but also so dramatically fatigued at the same time that there's this love and this dread of BEA, because you get to see people from out of town, you get to discover new books, which is always great, you get to talk to people, you get to see sort of what's going on in the industry. And the first couple of years that I went, it was right when ebooks were really starting to take off. This was like 2008, 2009. And so everyone was super worried / excited / dramatically concerned or overly concerned or underwhelmingly concerned about ebooks. And now it's sort of tapered off a little bit.
Well,
but it used to
2008, 2009 was not especially fun. It was really scary. I mean, we were running around saying things like, I think the thing I said at the time was, I don't think it's the end of publishing. It may be the end of publishing as we know it. Yeah. And we're basically okay. I just remember going to a party and someone was like, look around, there will never be shrimp at a publishing party again. And that was terrible. And so I started using food as an economic indicator. And for a while, it was cheap crackers and like hard cheese, and that was it if you were lucky. And then the soft cheeses started coming back. And I saw shrimp again at a party, I believe last year, on a stick. And I took a picture of it. And I was like, oh yeah, lady, shrimp is back. So I didn't eat any. I'm a vegetarian, but I was happy to say.
I remember that corner, the stick corner, where they had like fruits on a stick and chicken on a stick. And I ate one of those shrimps. I was like...
I think they stuck it all into a cantaloupe to like make it stand up.
They did. Yeah. Do you remember the other corner that was like the freaking Thanksgiving dinner corner, and they had like a ham and a turkey and stuffing, and it was super weird because there was nowhere to sit to eat it, and I don't think there were 4.
Well, see, okay, we're talking about all these amazing things like shrimp on a stick and like Thanksgiving
shrimp
corners.
On a stick
here's the thing. Publishing is always too much awesome in too little time. During BEA, it is way too much awesome in way too little time. And it is ridiculous.
It's all industry focused, so it's about meeting other people in the industry. And the first couple of years, the BEA was in New York. Now, it has been all over the country. It was in LA, it was in various cities before, but for the last several years, it has been in New York. And the fan component and the industry component were always meshed together. And then recently, I want to say like 3 years ago,
I don't remember,
they separated the fandom into BookCon.
That was
the
last
industry
year.
Part last year.
Yeah.
Into BEA, which I think really helped with like the chaoticness, and I think it helped with people sort of having a little more breathing room and space, but also, you know, for us, it is a professional event, and you have to like be on all the time, and you have to be on the floor, and then there are parties afterwards, and so you have to be on during the parties as well. And so for a whole week of introverts being on all the time is exhausting.
It's really intense. I feel like you can't get through BEA without your feet hurting, your liver hurting, your head hurting. Your like everything in your body is just like, no, this is bad. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to drinks like 3 days in a row and just been like, this is terrible. I have to stop. I'm gonna drink just like juice.
6 days in a row.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. And you can't like not go to an event because it's gonna be this amazing thing everyone's talking about the next year. Like,
or you're gonna meet that editor or that client or that future client.
Oh, there is so much fear of missing out. There's so much fear of missing out. And so you're always like, yeah, gotta keep going. Have that 6th coffee. Try some Red Bull. It's okay. It won't kill you. It might be a scary yellow. It won't kill you. That's fine. have some more, change into some shoes, preemptively Band-Aid it. It'll be great. So, like,
Band-Aid.
you must preemptively Band-Aid. This is the most important thing.
I have actually discovered an amazing product. I think it's made by Band-Aid brand.
Oh.
It's basically like beeswax that you put on the back of your heel.
Oh, that's smart.
To prevent chafing. I was like, first of all, genius.
I got those for BEA last year.
Carry it in my purse at all times.
Last year,
they should hand out emergency kits.
Totally.
Oh, they should. And they need to have, like, I remember the first day on the floor, I literally woke up with bruises on my feet. On the, like, the soles of my feet were bruised just from, like, the Javits has the most unforgiving floor.
The Javits has the most unforgiving everything.
I have one more question for the agents, because I also want to sort of tell, because most of what we've said so far from the agent perspective has been like pretty much just scary. And it's not only a bad thing. And no, it's fine. So what exactly is your job while you're there? Like, what are you doing when you are on the floor? Are you networking? Are you what are your duties on the floor?
I actually think the floor for me is the least important part, because you've got to do that. The first year you go, you are going to be on the floor. You're going to be grabbing all the free books you can. You are going to be somehow carrying them home from the horrible Javits Center and hurting yourself in the process, and it's just completely unavoidable. But you're like, what if I don't grab that one book? That looks so good. I'm carrying 27 books. That's okay. Yeah. You've got to do that. You've got to do that one time and then be like, okay, I'm not going to do that again. I think
also go back and define the floor. So the floor is where various publishers of different sizes have space to set up booths to basically tell the rest of the industry who they are. So they can go from very small to very large. Usually how large a publisher is and how much they're willing to spend depends on how much capital they have. So like Random House and Simon & Schuster have huge booths with toys and bookmarks and all these lovely things. And then there's sort of medium houses that have maybe a little bit less. And then there are small presses that have one booth or maybe half of a booth. And the idea is, for us, one, we could go to the floor to network. I enjoyed this a lot more the first year that I was there, because I felt like I could network and because I was with a group of friends. The second year and so on, I felt like it's hard to actually know if editors are going to be at the booths. So what agents use the floor for is to meet with foreign publishers or to meet with new publishers that they don't know.
But I've been speaking with some editors who have said that authors come up to them and pitch them and usually they don't accept donations, and they get so many of those a day they can't even remember, so they end up with a whole bunch of business cards and don't know what they are. So to me,
not many editors actually go to the floor unless they're there for a specific author at a specific time. So trying to network is really difficult.
Wes told me he was instructed to lie and say he wasn't in editorial.
I had to turn around my bed if people started pitching me.
It was scary. Yeah, it's just a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the worst time possible to pitch.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you are going to BEA, I think you should go to, I think you should go to BookCon. To meet authors, to sign, to go to their signing. But
Did you
then
go to BookCon
also,
last year?
No.
Okay,
I
did.
When it was combined.
No, I went to BookCon. Okay, I've been to BEA when it was separate, and I've been to BEA when it was separated with BookCon, and I will literally never go into BookCon again. You couldn't pay me money to go in there. It was.
Oops, my bad.
No, it wasn't publishing people. Like there were people cosplaying for The Princess Bride because Carrie Always was there, and there was people like fighting over Stan Lee. No, wait, that was a different con. No, anyway, but there was everybody who was fighting. But I remember we went in there, and 7 minutes. That's how long I lasted walking in. Was 7 minutes until I came upon this woman who was throwing this raging holy fit because the We Need Diverse Books panel was full, and like she was getting up, and
But that's great that it's full.
Yeah, the employees, like, we thought they were going to come to blows, so I was standing there going, like, okay, if this woman punches the employee, I'm going to have to step in, and we were trying to calm everything down, and so they got security called, and I just noped right out of there. Never.
I think that, I just like Summer, I've been to BEA twice, and I think that there are some good reasons to go to BEA, but I think that's sort of the thing that you need to come to the table with before you buy a plane ticket. You need to know why you're going. If you think that you're going to go to BEA to be introduced to or to meet an agent, that is not a good reason to go to BEA. If you think that you are going to go to BEA to look around at booths and check out some different facets of the publishing industry, that might be fun. If it's an interesting fact-finding mission, that could be interesting. If you're going because you want to meet a particular author as a fan, that is a great reason to go to BEA. But it is not like a conference. It's not a time for you to go as an author and like connect with industry professionals like to peddle your own wares. That's not what it's for. And so I think that that's one of the things that a bunch of people on Twitter weren't exactly sure about, because they hear a lot of Twitter writers talking about attending. And I think that a lot of the times the Twitter writers who are talking about attending BEA are Twitter writers who are going to meet their agent or their editor. Oh. They already are at that step, and that's why they're going.
They're going as a blogger. And I don't know about this year, but there's a very specific relationship that bloggers have with BEA.
Yes.
BloggerCon? Blog something? And so maybe they're going as a blogger. Right. Or maybe, I think the real difference is BEA is a convention.
Yeah.
A writing conference is a conference. And we already covered conferences in our last episode.
Yes, we did.
But it really is like a convention. It's in a giant hall called the Javits Center, which takes up extraordinarily amount of space on the west side. It's
like a dystopia.
Impersonal. It is really exciting because you can see all these people en masse who are in publishing, but it can be overwhelming. And I think actually my first guide to BEA was Janet Reed, and she told me you have to go in with a plan, and if you go in with friends and good shoes and a suitcase to hold all of your arcs, you'll be okay. And I was like, thank you, Janet Reed. But I agree with Kelsey that you have to have a game plan and to have really, really specific expectations.
Yes.
And realistic expectations.
Yes.
I've been to Comic-Con at the Javits and BEA at the Javits, and
I like
honestly, Comic-Con was like less stressful. Like
yes,
there was
yes, it was. You would just like maneuver around all the costumes, and it'd be fine. It'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was very jarring because I thought, oh, this is publishing. It'll be very like people will knock your ass down. So they want the arcs. I'm not kidding. Like.
Yeah.
Oh, that people get crazy about the arcs, which is why I feel like separating BookCon and BEA was a good idea, but maybe it sort of concentrated the fandom instead of neutralizing.
I feel like I have to clarify because what we did stay at Javits the day BookCon. They have a
specific experience.
Well, they have it segregated. So there's the industry side of Javits during BookCon, and then there's BookCon side where the hissing plebeians started. But that was
Summer. Come back to us, Summer.
Get on the other side. What? No, I'm here. No. Stay with us. Am I back?
I will always have a special place in my heart for BEA because it's the first place I ever signed like anything. So that was really, really special and
that
fun.
was amazing.
And Jessica was like a soccer mom. Jessica was like a soccer mom with like her camera, like taking pictures. It was so cute.
I waited in line,
and you like get to a stop, and you're like, no.
I think we should, at some point, it's not as much for the agents, it's more the writer gripe session. The signing at the random Barnes & Noble, those experiences, that's a whole nother, that can be like the most exciting thing for an author and then become the most awkward 2 hours of your life. It's a very, you aspire to it, and then when you get there, you're like, oh, this is really strange asking people who are just walking by me to stop and buy my book, and hey, I'll sign it for you. Like, that's this huge treat for them that this guy they've never seen is going to sit there and sign their book. It's an odd existence.
I
All right.
waited in line to see Kelsey. I was so happy and proud, and I squealed.
E.
Is that the kitty?
I still got it over my shelf.
Is that
It's
Tenet?
Tenet.
Mm-hmm.
Tenet
Tenet.
is so big.
You're huge.
All right, so let's go ahead and go to a Twitter question. What do you say? Let's see.
Todd, are you bringing him in? Or Kelsey?
Yeah, let's see. We have a
we
couple
had,
good
here's
ones.
the one. There's one.
Let's see. Is it a pointless venture to make major revisions to a rejected manuscript, then requery that agent? From Rebecca Cohen. What do you think, Rosie? Is it a pointless venture to make major revisions and requery if it's been rejected once?
If you haven't received a revise and resubmit, then you shouldn't query that agent with that project again.
Unless we say something like, I would like this so much better if you did very specific thing.
But that's a revise and resubmit.
Yeah, but not necessarily, because that's sometimes like I would like it better if you did this thing. If, say, 3, 5 other people say the same thing and you're willing to put in the work and that's your last chance, I would see it again. I mean, I don't know. I think it depends.
I feel like if I've requested the full and I pass on it, I don't want to see it again unless I do an R&R.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've already gotten a feeling for it.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends. I think it's sometimes, it's a long shot, though. I mean, I feel like that is your last resort.
I feel
like, if you've tried everybody, but you're getting the same feedback over and over and over again, I don't know. What else are you going to do? You could write your next book. Yeah.
Write your next book.
Yeah.
I feel like there might be a strong reason why that manuscript isn't working, but fixing that problem might not be the only problem that manuscript has.
That's true.
And I feel like...
But, I don't know. Sometimes there is that one problem. And you don't want to be like, change this all for me. Sometimes I specifically say, if other people say this, and then if, based on other people saying this, you decide to do this, I would see it again.
You are so nice.
I was just thinking this. I was just thinking the same thing.
I'm really I don't know. I feel like I might as well say that versus definitely do it and I'll definitely look at it again. I think it's more fair to be like, if you're in a spot where you're doing this anyway, sure.
I guess. But I maybe, are they talking about, I guess my question back to that person would be, is it just a query that they've passed on, or is it, did they request the full?
That's a good point.
Or
they wrote it as rejected manuscript, and then it said,
so
would it maybe
on a manuscript, then I'm gonna say pass. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna, pass on a future one. Please, send me the next one that you write.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of authors who come back, and I get more excited about reading their second manuscript. But I specifically have started saying a lot, I will see your next book. Because I feel like there are so many instances where somebody is talented, but that doesn't mean that they're ready to be signed. Mm-hmm.
And so I want to see what they do next.
But this is also why we have multiple agents on PubTalkTV.
Yeah.
Because your opinion differs from mine.
Oh, of course it does. We illustrate that it's a subjective industry.
Exactly.
I'm telepathically connecting with Monica, and Monica agrees with me. What a coincidence.
You know what's funny? I rejected something telepathic this week.
No, I do not speak for Monica. Monica, I love you, but I do not speak for you.
I don't speak for telepathy, so.
I don't speak for telepathy either. That's what this episode should be called. I do not speak for telepathy.
Sure.
The BEA
edition. Yeah, that's fine. Good.
Somebody asked a really
Monica
cool
just
question
tweeted me.
earlier.
Oh, she's watching. Monica says you guys are doing great. Oh, Monica, we love you too.
Monica. Okay, here's a question that we got earlier, and I can't tell who it was from. It says, Lori Cole John. So how do agents really feel about the creative writing MFA?
Oh, we get this so often.
I feel like you don't need it, but it can be really nice. Like, I don't think you go into debt or, like bleed out for like selling pints of your blood to go to MFA program because there are plenty of people who don't, who are really great writers, but there are also some really good writers who come out of MFAs, and I feel like, again, it's not, the necessary thing is to work on your craft. Whether that means you sit in an MFA program or you sit at your computer every day, whatever helps you to sort of get down to the writing, I think is the most useful.
So there's this book I love called, it's either MFA versus NYC or NYC. Yeah, it's so good, and there's all these essays about the difference between either living somewhere and living your life and just fitting and writing while you can, or paying absurd amounts of money to go somewhere pretty and hang out with writers and work on your craft, which sounds frankly lovely.
Yeah, it's experience versus program.
I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I'm always the person who gets angry when people ask writers to spend money, like I do. I just get angry at that. I don't think you need an MFA. I don't think you need to spend the money. I think you can go about your life, and if you spend enough hours, maybe it's 10,000 like people say, I don't know. If you spend enough hours working, I think you can do it. And I like to believe that anyone can be a fantastic writer if they work hard enough, you know?
I mean, my favorite story is Dan Krokos, who is a YA and middle grade author, who wrote while he was working at a gas station.
That's amazing.
He just wrote and wrote and wrote, and the practice of writing helped him to become a better writer. And he sold 2-3 book series, or don't quote me on that, but it's really the practice of writing, and whether you need that formal program or you do it on your own is sort of your call. But I agree with Jess that you don't have to spend that amount of money to be a great writer.
Frankly, I don't even really notice in the query, like if someone is like, I went to such and such MFA program, unless it's like Iowa or Columbia or like,
it's like Iowa, Columbia for children's, it's Vermont. It's like there are a couple that really stand out. But again, like I've gotten queries from Columbia students that like I just didn't like their writing.
Yeah, you know what I care about more? I care about where you've been published, and that you can do for free. Also, it takes up more lines in your query.
I mean, they might pay you in magazines. But.
I was just going to add something there. Obviously, I'm not an agent, but as a writer perspective, my day job, I work at a university, and I had a conversation with the dean of our liberal arts college back when I worked in the liberal arts college, and the creative writing program is in the liberal arts college, and he asked me kind of, what's your 5-year plan? What do you want to do? And I said, I really want to write, but I don't know if I should go to get an MFA or, what I should do. And he said, do you want to teach or do you want to write books? And I said, I want to write books. And he said, then write books. If you want to teach, get your MFA. If you want to write books, just keep writing and keep writing and keep writing. And I always found that really helpful advice too.
Absolutely. Snaps to 10.
Why is that not a thing? Why is that not a thing we do?
I do snaps in my class every day.
I meant on the show. Like that needs to be a thing.
Because I do snaps. I have a team because we snap.
We can do it. We can do it.
Yeah, it's a thing now.
Snaps for Ted.
Jed's the gavel. Woo!
Okay, we have another question. How frequently do your wishes on your manuscript wish list change? How frequently do your tastes change? How frequently do you want different stuff than what you wanted last week?
I think it's actually more frequently that I become aware of what I want than that my tastes actually change.
Or that I become more specific with what I want rather than like throwing out a version. Like I'm about to.
Did you just say you're going to throw out a wait,
I was like,
I heard it too.
Oh. Okay.
Was it rated R? Did I say something rated R?
Yes.
No, are you?
I think it was.
No,
I think it was version. What's the word?
Version.
Version. Not virgin.
Throwing out the. This is fine.
Wait, did I say Rosie?
Same as her too. It's okay. It's the internet.
I didn't think I said
Blame it on Time Warner.
Hashtag hate Time Warner. It's not really that I'm gonna suddenly be like, oh, I hate YA. I'm only doing books for 17-and-a-half-year-olds, or 19-and-a-half-year-olds. But it's more like, oh, I really want a novel with a girl, like Please Ignore Vera Dietz, or something like that. And then I'll tweet out, like, oh, I'm really actively looking for that. Like when I tweeted out that I was actively looking for con and heist books. And to me...
Hint.
Con and heist books.
It's more about
Come on, Twitter.
finding specifics that you want.
I think it's more like I'm like, I love this. What is this thing? This thing is amazing. I was sick and I spent a whole day reading this one book that absolutely blew my mind. It's called Love is Red. It came out of nowhere. I got this invite in my inbox and I'm like, what is this? Is this something self-published? Oh no, it is William Morrow and it is brilliant. And it's amazing. And it's sort of like if you read Gone Girl and there's all that tension of that and you're trying to figure it out. It's dual perspectives of like the serial killer with like magical powers and the girl who's slowly falling in love with him. And this is not something I knew I wanted, but yes, I do. It is bloody, it is fantastic, it is highbrow sentences and lowbrow content. I'm like, I want that. And I had no idea exactly how much I wanted that.
Highbrow sentences and lowbrow content.
I like your pointing.
Well, I obviously have to illustrate myself for the internet.
Very important. This isn't a radio show, y'all.
That's true.
The points.
Okay, so Jessica, I hear that you have a little story about why it took you so long. Okay, so it looks like somebody was trying to ask you why it takes so long for you to read his work.
Oh, God.
Because I have a lot of stuff to do. And then, apparently, you get Ted involved, and Ted starts counting, and apparently it was such a high number that we actually, put it in the show budget to send Ted's twin brother to your inbox right now and report live from the slush pile.
I'm so sorry.
It's a real thing, y'all. This is real.
I can hear Bed. He's getting situated. So let me go ahead and let him. He'll get situated.
Okay, so
y'all are about to meet bad locks. Gird your everything.
Yes. Gird all the things.
Gird all of them.
I'm so excited for this. So we're gonna be in the slush pile. Bed, is that you, Bed?
Oh my God, it's bad locks.
I'm Bed. I'm a much more attractive twin brother of Ted, and I gotta wear this hat while I'm in the slush pile because of just all the queries that are just raining down on me. Oh, that one looked like it might have been my sister-in-law throwing a pile of envelopes at my head, but I can assure you that it's just because of all the queries raining down, and I'm going to hit refresh here again to get some more of these letters.
Okay.
Well, such a normal
the queries are they're coming in at an awkward angle. They're not really showering down on me as they normally do, but
more of a windblown,
they are very windblown at the moment. But I am here in Jessica's slush pile. I wanted to show you, if you can see these boxes back here, those are all just the Dear Sirs. So I put those all in boxes because I weed those out for her to begin with because we don't need to be worrying about those.
Somebody sent her a video game system?
Yeah, I have a Nintendo back there too. That's just for me. That's for me because bed needs some bedtime every now and then.
Yeah.
You spend all day in a slush pile. You need a little bedtime. This is how we take care of ourselves. Ted doesn't understand that, but that's part of being Bed. I do me. So we got those. We got I'm gonna redefine the genre queries. Some of them I think are borderline Ponzi schemes. Those are a little tough. I got to hit refresh here again. I think I have a few more.
There. Oh, wow.
See, a couple more just came in here.
This is a dangerous situation. Are you safe?
I think I'm safe. I forgot to wear my protective eye covers, but
remember your safe word, Ted.
before you know,
Bed.
bed. That's right. Please tell me.
What is your
Don't get the
safe
two of us
word,
confused.
bed?
What I am, what I want to say,
Right up.
what I want to say before I go, before my brother Ted comes back in here, is
Recycle,
Ted.
recycle.
Ted is a veteran of the unsolicited querying process, and he is represented by Jessica. So clearly it does work. It can be frustrating for everyone, but it does work. So just talk to these agents like they're human beings, not like you're trying to sell them a pre-owned Honda Accord. Like, just treat them like individuals,
Specific.
like people.
I
Don't
don't
insult
know
them.
what to do with a pre-owned
Don't-
Honda Accord.
Don't vaguely threaten them with your queries, and things have a way of working out. So I'm going to take off now because
Thank you very much,
No,
Dad.
I'm going to let Ted come back here now.
Thanks for being here, Dad.
We'll miss
Get
you,
home
Bed.
safely.
Bad luck.
Bad luck, everybody.
And you know what's really amazing about Bad Luck is that he's Ted's identical twin brother. And their last name.
Identical.
Yeah.
Super identical.
This
I mean,
makes
kind of-
crazy identical.
It's kind of a mess in here. It's almost
Genetics.
like Bet and I are sitting in the same spot, even
Oh
though
my God.
he was in the slush pile and I'm in Indiana. It's very strange.
weird.
Very, very strange.
Weird.
Ted, no offense.
Like,
I thought Brad was a little bit better looking.
You know,
Like-
we've gotten that a lot.
yeah,
Of,
he has that like raw magnetism. You know what I mean?
he's got a little.
I
You know, when I describe
Wait,
Bet, he's got a
engineer.
little bit of that Bill Murray, Carl Spackler raw magnetism from Caddyshack. That's kind of like that's his vibe.
Yeah,
So.
that's definitely
Sure.
his vibe. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to say his vibe is.
Please.
Took the words
like
right
word
out of my
for
mouth,
word.
Ted.
Verbatim.
We did have one question that I think we can answer just real fast. And it was, you know, Ted, you missed this, but Bed was just saying about you
Yes.
that you know all about the unsolicited query. And we did have someone that said, you know, what do you define an unsolicited query as? And I feel like that's I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but in general, if you didn't ask them to send it, then it's not solicited. So if you didn't meet and they didn't say, yeah, send that, then it's cold. That's unsolicited, right? There's no other version
Yeah,
of solicited.
and that's most of what we get.
Right.
Unsolicited queries. Yeah, most of the queries are unsolicited. That's
not
okay.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
perfectly fine.
That's fine. People get all upset when they're like, oh God, I ended up in the slush pile. And I'm like, most people are in the slush pile.
Yeah.
We don't look at you and be like, yeah, throw it over there. We'll deal with it later. No.
No.
All right. We have another question.
Mhm.
When two clients write manuscripts that would appeal to the ooh.
I know. That's why I like this.
Oh,
one.
yeah, I wanted to
Jones.
ask that one. That's such a good question.
That is
Summer,
a good question.
finish this question. Finish this
Wait,
question
what?
for me. I'm too overwhelmed with mental block now that I'm reading this. This is a good question. Go for it.
I'm sorry. I wasn't like gonna scratch out. I was just excited about the question. It's a really good
I
question.
know. It's good.
From Sarah Floyd, when two clients whose manuscripts would appear to be this, it's under the frickin' chat bubble. There would appeal to the same group of editors. How do you handle submissions?
Oh. I think you mean they're like writing in the same genre, probably?
Yeah,
Like the same
So
subgenre?
Kelsey and I were writing about, not your client, but if I was, Kelsey and I are writing a book and they're similar and they're going to go to the same kind of editors, what do you do?
That's
I
a
assume
great
Hunger
question.
Games.
No cornucopia. No. No, I think generally I have a pretty good idea because I take horribly obsessive notes. Every time I meet somebody, and this is probably going to freak some of you out, but every time I meet somebody, as soon as I'm on the subway back, I take notes on exactly what they tell me. And then those usually give me a good indication. I know, you all are thinking I'm like terrible stock.
No, I think you're
Is this
bro.
just publishing or is this for everybody? Like,
Generally
do you have a note file on
publishing,
me?
but I do have a note file. I don't think I have one on you. No, but then I remember like little things where it's like, okay, this person likes dolphins. This person is afraid of dolphins. This person would eat macaroni and cheese out of a box. This person would not. These sound like little things, but those are actually like sometimes useful if you have a book about dolphins or macaroni and cheese. And so I just write down all of the information I have, so it's all searchable in my database. And so I feel like actually it's reasonably easy to choose who was the best fit and who wasn't.
It also promise me you will always use your powers for good, okay?
Of course.
Always.
Okay.
Of course.
It's also, I mean, it might happen, but it probably doesn't happen as often as you think because people are in different stages of their revisions, because people are in different manuscripts at different times. And they also might be writing the same subgenre, but one might be more literary, one might be more commercial.
I mean, there are so many defining factors.
There are so many factors.
So many factors. Do they want literary? Do they want commercial? Do they want happy? Do they want sad? Do they want serious? Do they not want serious?
Do they want gritty?
I mean, there's so many things. And then, like, you know, it's kind of like recommending a book to a friend. Like, maybe both of your friends like romance, but they like completely different romance. Maybe one of them
likes really sweet romance and one likes really
you can just kind of tell the difference. The few times that I have been in a place where I legit didn't know which of these two projects I should send to an editor, I've been lucky enough that I've known the editor well enough that I can be like, hey, I have these two things, which do you prefer? Now, granted, my California is showing, and I prefer the communication for everybody. I like to just openly communicate things. Okay, Rosie just dropped berries, and Ted is looking very concerned.
I just dropped alcohol-soaked berries all over myself.
Clear liquor.
I was rooting for you to eat the berry, and then it fell, and I was sad.
I was scrolling Twitter.
Okay.
Sure, scrolling Twitter, not looking at me ashamed.
Bet wouldn't have done that. Bet was focused in. I'm all over the place.
Exactly.
I'm all over the place.
Still reading. Bet is like, dear sir.
Bet is like trying to claw his way out of
Poor Bed. Poor Bed. Just
Poor.
To give you guys an idea, like, I did actually look up like the numbers for why I couldn't reply to that guy in 5 minutes, and that's because I received 2,118 queries in the last 10 weeks. So there.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I am, and I worked out how many minutes that works out to for me reading each. So since I have jury duty now, which is terrifying, I have 4 days in the office per week, and so that works out to 39.9 something queries that I can read in the hour and a half that I've set aside for queries per day, which works out to about 2.25 minutes per on average.
Oh my God!
But
so basically, chill your boobies, guys. She'll get to it.
But I was okay. So like Clarabelle Ortega is a very good friend, and I wrote, yeah, she's amazing. And so I wrote all of this out, and I was like, Clarabelle, should I send it back to him? And she very wisely said no, because he might have sent me fire in the mail if I had. But yes, I did figure all of that out, and I did try to see if I could do a handstand, because he asked if agents had to do handstands before they took anything on, and my answer is almost. And if only gravity worked a little bit differently, I could.
Well, you were also wearing a pencil skirt at the time.
Yes, I was, but it was
that's
stretchy.
Like an additional challenge.
That was an additional challenge.
If you had been wearing pants,
that's different.
Who knows?
But I'm still not as strong as I thought I was.
I'm not either.
Yeah, we're getting old. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so let's go back to this BEA topic. What books are you super excited to see at BEA this year? What novels have amazed you this year?
My own books. What? No, I'm super excited. My middle grade that's coming out August 2015. Zach Delacruz, Me and My Big Mouth by Jeff Anderson is a Publishers Weekly BEA Galleys 2 pick.
Oh my gosh.
Woo!
You let me know when they're giving them out, right? Right?
Yeah.
You let me know when they're giving them out. Yeah.
But
it's the worst. They always do it at a specific time, and they're always like, come back in 5 minutes. Then you come back in 5 minutes, and they're all gone. Like, right. I'm not even kidding. That happens every time. You can drive yourself crazy.
I mean, seriously, if you see someone handing out books, even if you think you're not going to want it, just grab it.
Yeah, someone will want it later.
Put it
especially
in your case for the
right after the Buzz panels. I feel like there's this one year where they had all these books out on a table, and so I'm like, I will sit by those books. And then they weren't giving those books out, and I was so angry because I almost had all the books.
The Buzz panels are the worst.
Oh, it's a feeding frenzy.
They're such a tease, and then it's like, zoom. And actually, that was another tip that Janet gave me, is to sit in the back of the room.
Oh, yeah, because you can get out faster.
Books.
Yeah,
because
but I did. I
set up the books in the back, or they'll set them out in the hallway.
I sat up right by the books, and then I waited for those books, and I got no books because I was in the wrong place. Those were decoy books.
Kids, cover your ears. That's because those people are bitches and whores.
No.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No.
Burn.
Bitches and whores.
Well, this is why I think there should be a monthly like ARC library, and we all just drink and share. I know, right? But they'd kill us.
Brilliant.
ARC library.
Art library. Isn't that just a regular library?
No, it's special because it's all the books that haven't come out yet, and it's only publishing people.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
So it's like a library for publishing people.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, I have a super good question.
Go for it.
If somebody else does. If I butcher your last name, I'm so sorry, but from Desiree Rousseff from Twitter. If an agent requests a full, should you stop querying other agents or keep trucking through your query list? This is an important question.
Keep going unless they ask for an exclusive. Yeah.
And I don't know any agents who ask for an exclusive.
It happens every so often that someone's like, I can't send it because it's with an exclusive. And I'm like, okay.
An exclusive is not to your advantage
No.
as an author.
Unless they promise a timeline. I mean, if they're like,
Yeah, if they'll say, I'll get back to you in 2 weeks. I would say no less than 2
and it's
weeks.
your dream agent, because it might be an exclusive where if they say yes, you have to go with it. Kind of like early such in college.
Yeah. This is why I
That's
don't
pretty
like
rare.
exclusives.
I think it's mean.
It's weird.
I get it. I get why people do it.
I think it's outdated.
I get why people do
There are a
it.
lot of things in publishing that feel a little bit antiquated.
Oh, you know what I thought about this morning? About how when everything was in paper, there were times when I'd be like, I've read everything. That doesn't happen
I
anymore.
remember as like a child and young adult feeling like all the books had been written,
Oh.
so all the authors must be dead. And then I sort of discovered that, like, oh my god, authors write new things. This is amazing. It was like the most life-changing thing of my life.
That's a good thing to know.
It
Yeah.
was really exciting. Where I was like,
Valuable publishing insight, yes.
We actually all are dead. We're all ghosts. This is like a seance.
But I can't walk
TV.
through walls. I run into
Yeah.
them still. That's terrible.
Ghost Talk TV.
Ghost Talk TV.
It's like Ghost Hunters.
Where's the
meets
Ouija board?
PubTalk TV.
Oh god.
I'm such an adult, but I was told my mom would kill me if I died with a mohawk. So, like, at least let it grow out a little bit, then I'll die.
Don't die. Don't die.
First, don't
Ever.
die. Also, there's nothing wrong with dying with a mohawk or a faux hawk.
Or any
no,
kind
this
of
one's
hawk.
real. It's shaved. See?
Or even a bird hawk. Like,
Bird hawk.
stop judging against hawks, everybody. Hawks are people too.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Actually, I just read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and yes, hawks are people too.
Hawks are people.
Okay, so Lori Hoffman wants to know if an author has finished 2 manuscripts, can she query them both? And then she says, to different agents, of course. So it sounds like she's written 2 very different projects, and she wants to know if it's okay to query both, and if it's okay to query them both to separate agents.
I would always say put your best work forward.
I want to know what the 2 different genres are. I feel like I can't answer unless I know more. Tell us more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us more, Lori Hoffman.
He totally had a car.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would feel like put your best work forward, but if they're vastly different, you want to make sure that the agents you're querying also do both, or would let you, like, if one is the children and one is an adult, it would let you have a different agent for your children's work.
You know,
Because you don't want to, like, set you're writing very, very different genres. You don't want to set yourself up for awkwardness later.
in an ideal world, you'd find somebody who represents both. Generally, I know the rule is to query one, but if you happen to put a line in your query of I'm also working on this other thing, I want to know.
I think that's a good way to, like,
Yeah, because it's just a line. I mean, there was a time, maybe last week or the week before, where someone did that, and I was like, actually, this project is right for me, but I'd like to see this other one. Yeah, she had 2 or 3 things done, and I was like, well, not this one. How about that? So, yeah, why not? Tell me things. Just communicate. Seriously.
Yeah.
Ted looks concerned again.
Ted is hard at work.
He's kind of very, like,
Ted is hard at work.
he has, like, the resting scroll face. Like, there's resting bitch. He has random scroll.
I'm on those two hashtags, man.
I know.
I'm scrolling through those hashtags.
You're all over.
You're lickety damn split.
Summer, do you have this next
Ooh,
one?
Jen Malone asked a question. Should querying authors query under legal name or publishing name? Also, hi, Jen. Sorry. Jean. Not Jen. Jean. I'm an idiot. Fine. Hi, Jean.
I think it doesn't matter as long as you tell me what your name is.
I would say legal, but if you have a really good reason to not tell your real name, I would respect your decision to say, this is my pseudonym, and I'll tell you my real name if we work together.
Okay.
I mean, if you have a really good reason. I get some strange stuff in my inbox sometimes. Like, look, if you need to feel like that level of safety, I'm okay with that. Do what you gotta do.
Like, if you're a CIA director and you need to query under a false name, that's fine. But you can't get paid unless I know your real name.
Well, yeah, we will
And,
eventually.
and we need a legal binding agreement to your legal name. So that's sort of, I guess, where that falls for me.
Yeah, it's okay.
And it's not like something that goes to your query inbox is going to be like, ooh, this was great, click publish. You're outed. Like, it's not like it's going to be like displayed anywhere. There's no risk in telling someone who is potentially like your partner in crime your name. Like, that's, like, they need to know you. They need to know a lot more than just your real name. They need to know all sorts of good stuff.
In general, publishing people can be trusted with your whatever's going on. You know, I like to think, is that wood? It might be IKEA. I'm knocking on something. I'm saying
IKEA wood.
Generally, I think publishing people, if you research them, they're legit, they're real. Predators and editors say they are real. I think generally are really good people who kind of have empathy for situations and are not going to be like, hey, I'm going to ruin your life because I can online and put all your private stuff online. Yeah. Like, no, I don't think anyone's going to do that because why would you do that?
Yeah,
it's not cool.
No purpose.
It doesn't serve us any purpose. We're not going to, like, charge admission to our inbox. I mean, really. Like, as you saw, Bed did not enjoy his experience there. Is his name Bed or Tim? Yeah. Yeah, it's not fun. So
that would be kind of awesome if we charged admission to our inbox.
No, that'd be terrible.
Is this where I should tell Jessica that my legal name is Bedlocks and that's my publishing name?
That she actually doesn't have an agreement with you?
Right.
Oh, all right.
This is awkward.
This is like
tell me what a pizza.
that movie where the two twins switch places.
With a liar.
Pizza is not a binding agreement.
It is to me. Pizza is well bound to that plate until I eat it off of it.
It is not a legal binding.
I think it's legal.
Pizza is absolutely.
I don't want to live in a world where pizza is not a legal and binding agreement.
Yes. What about the emoji pizza? If I have an emoji pizza in my contract, is that a legal binding emoji?
Yes.
That's good.
Only if it's artichoke.
No, because that emoji pizza is not Chicago pizza. It is like, sorry, everyone's going to hate me. I'm going to feel this tomorrow. It's lame New York pizza. What?
No, that is okay. That is
fist bump that right there.
It's a burnt cracker. It's a burnt cracker.
So
Chicago pizza is so much better.
Oh my, it's disgusting. It's not pizza. It's like bread
And I want to swim in it.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's a bread bowl.
That's what it is. It's delicious. I don't care if it's a swimming pool. I want to dive right in.
No.
Yes, I do. Yes, I
It's
do.
a cesspool.
You know what? They make a pizza
Not
float.
okay.
I will get that pizza float from Paper Source. I will get that pizza float. Plate that pizza source float, and I will dive right in to your swimming pool of Chicago pizza. Awesome.
No,
it is
Rosie, I am with you here.
The only legal pizza binding agreement is artichoke pizza.
Why? Because it's spiny?
Because it's delicious.
So is Chicago pizza.
No, it's not.
Okay, delicious is subjective. Delicious is subjective. You know what's subjective? Chicago pizza's better.
We've got a question. We've got a question that Summer can respond to. And we've got a question that Ted can respond to.
Oh.
Oh my.
Guys, like, shut up, you two. No more pizza.
Pizza for you.
Okay, so Summer and Ted, we got a question that asked how you celebrated the finishing of your first book, or the publishing of your first book, or the selling of your first book, Agents. How did you celebrate the victory of, like, accomplishing this thing that so few people ever actually do in their life, like finishing a project?
I ate shrimp enchiladas in bed and made my husband give me a foot rub.
Yeah.
And then I watched like I just signed with my agents a couple of weeks ago, or like 2 months ago now, and that's how I ate shrimp fajitas in bed. I made my husband give me a foot rub, and then I watched like 6 episodes of Buffy until like 2 o'clock in the morning because I am a friggin' wild woman, you guys.
You're so badass.
I am bad to the actual bone.
Yeah, the actual physical skeletal bones. Yeah.
What about your mirror?
What about you, Ted?
What?
What? Eh?
Huh? What?
Eh? Such good. We're such good at this. We're so
good.
Many good.
Very wow.
Many good. Such
And we're a
great.
disaster.
You know, for me, I don't remember as much what I actually did when the book actually sold. The coolest part for me was I remember having what was supposed to be the publishing date and being in Barnes & Noble actually, you know what? It was on Jenny's and my 3rd wedding anniversary. It was on May 30th. The book was supposed to come out June 18th. It was May 30th, and walking into Barnes & Noble and seeing it was already on the shelf. So that was a really significant. To me, that was when I felt like, wow, okay, this is really concrete that I'm an author. I wrote something. It's on the shelf in a Barnes & Noble. So that was probably the most special part of it for me, especially since it was such a surprise because you're like, oh, it's a couple more weeks. I'll walk by the shelf, but it's not going to be there. And then when it was there, that was pretty cool.
Actually, if I may jump on this question, I found out my first book had sold at the first BEA I was at.
Whoa.
So
Aww.
looping it all together.
Oh, that's so nice. Aw.
It was adorable.
How about Kelsey? How about you? What did you do when you found out your book sold?
I don't remember exactly what I did when it sold. I know I cried because I cry all the time, like for no reason. I almost certainly had a Slurpee.
Because
Yeah.
you're creative.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely had a Slurpee. Hearts. I think that one of the first things that I did when the book was published is it was, I think, probably the first time that I walked into a Barnes & Noble. Actually, this was the weekend of my launch party. My friends were in town, like from California. My friend Tamika was with me, and we were walking through the mall because we were killing time before they had to fly away back to California. And we went in, and we were like, they don't have it. Like, of course they don't have it. Like, they don't have it. And then at the last second, my friend was going to do some guerrilla marketing and put my book up on the computer to search, at Barnes & Noble. And they were like, Kelsey, it says it's in stock. It's here. It's here somewhere. And we, frantically started, running around the Barnes & Noble. We're like, it says it's in stock. Where's the book? And we went up to the counter, and we were like, the book is here. Like, it says that the book is here. And they were like, oh, did you want to go ahead and pre-order it? And I was like, no, it's my book. I mean, I made a thing. It's just a thing. It just has my name on it. It's not, I mean, I could show you my driver's license, but I wrote it. I mean, I really actually wrote it. It was mine. And she was like, I'll be right back. And she moved her hand slowly away from the security button and went and found it for me. And then she faced it out and put it on a special table for me. And it was so cute and sweet, and it was the best moment.
Awesome.
It was so cute.
Oh, that's my alarm.
But I need to get better. I think all writers need to get better at celebrating finishing projects. I mean, in general. When I finished the first draft on my second project, I was like, who cares? What is life? I was like, ugh. And I think that you need to be excited and be like, hey, I did another cool thing. I should be glad. This is hard.
That's why I do the Quizzathon.
It's really hard.
Honestly, it gives me, I get so fired up, and I mean, when it's done, I collapse, and I cry, and I freak out, and it's because it's so elevated the entire time I'm doing it. But honestly, that's why I love doing Quizzathon. It, really gives me motivation to have that finish line and have something to collapse and squeal over when it's done.
For sure.
I mean, to be successful at this, like anything else, you have to have so much persistence and perseverance, both before you have an agent, after you have an agent, all those things, that it's very easy, as I know for me, I struggle with. It's so easy then just to immediately move to the next thing, okay, what's the next step I have to do now, and not take the moment or the week or whatever to say, wow, this is cool that I got to this point. And I think a lot of writers are probably, a lot of successful writers anyway, are wired that way. So I think you really have to sometimes let yourself take a step back and say, wow, this is why I do this or I'm trying to do this for a living, then let yourself enjoy it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget that we are all doing this because we love stories. You know, like that's why any of us like ever would have started on this journey. It's because like we like stuff, and like I love hearing agents. I love hearing Rosie and Monica and Jessica talk every week about like books. Like you guys, I don't know if you know this, but agents are just giant book nerds. Like they seem cool, but they're really just giant book nerds.
I am
Like,
not
that's
cool.
the real deal.
You're cool.
That's so exciting.
Rosie's cool as shit. So is Jessica. They're very cool.
Giant nerds.
Yes. Okay, this is escalated.
Where are you okay?
Also,
Was there an attack?
clarification, I do not really think that anyone in the publishing industry are bitches and whores. I just
Good.
I got a little bit overexcited.
Is this our first redaction?
It's surely not to be the last.
No.
But yeah, I mean, Jess and I just talk about books, and we love books, and that's, I mean, certainly one of the reasons I became an agent, that people needed advocates in this world. But also, I just love reading books, and I love getting behind them, and I love feeling excited about them. I love being the first in the know.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting to be that first person.
And I know you can't always tell because you look at all these horrifying, like, oh my gosh, agents hate everybody except the 0.00001% weird, scary statistics. We're rooting for you. Like, I know you don't know that, but when we're reading, we are like, please be the next great thing. This is a really good idea. Please work out. Please work out.
Yes.
Please make me love this. Like, please, I want that feeling. That's why we're here. And we don't get it often. But we want it. We want it. We want that feeling. We do love the books.
Yeah.
We want to love your book.
On that sweet, sappy note, I think we can wrap up this episode of Pub Talk TV.
Can we hug it out now? Like, can we?
This is like the fluffiest, like squishiest ending of a show we've had so far.
I don't want anybody to hug.
Summer, there's a stuffed animal behind you. Make good use of it.
Big from Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
I have my ampersand pillow. I'll hug that.
Oh, that's adorable.
I have a random snail. I'll hug this guy.
You have. Okay.
Hey, I like snails. Hey, we lost our ladies, but that's okay.
We did.
Oh God! Anyway,
This happened last time.
on behalf of Ted and Summer, I'm Kelsey. Thanks for watching this episode of Pub Talk TV, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you, everyone.
Bye.